Good morning, good morning, good morning. Tell it all Tuesday. How have you been? How have you been? Wow, this one, once again, having the most amazing conversation we've got this morning. And the conversation took me through like a myriad of different conversations that I've had over the last year. And this one was really like the access part of people. And, I'm always big on who you give access to. Yeah? Who you give access to. But this one went even deeper because this was given an example of someone who had blocked me. Yeah? And I happened to bump into them. And it was so ironically that very same week, I was trying to communicate with them, about something. And I wasn't getting no response. But because I know their work ethics, I thought, maybe work and so on and so forth. Anyway, I bumped into them in in the shops. Total different out of our area zone. And it was just like, hold on a minute. So I approached them. Anyway, I said, look, I've been trying to get hold of you, blah, 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 blah. And they was like, really? My number's the same. Is your number the same? I'm like, yeah. Excuse me. Anyway, it got to the part where they had to gain their phone. But I noticed their hand was shaking. And it makes sense as to why their hand was shaking. Because they knew that they had blocked me. And when it had gotten to my part, when I got to my name and I saw that I had been blocked, I was like, She goes, I don't know how that happened. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, left it as that and I walked away. We parted. But I'm saying all of this about access, right? And this is where I love the honesty and the truth be told, people, right? That you are not always going to be favorable to somebody for whatever reason it is, yeah? And I happen to not be favorable to that person, hence why I was blocked. Because me and my daughter had this conversation. Your phone doesn't just block people. You have to physically block people. Do you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't do that. And neither does whatever social media platform. You have to physically unfollow or block or delete, whatever it was. So this situation was where I was blocked and I witnessed it with my own eyes, right? Now I'm saying this to say, and this is where you got to take ownership and accountability and be okay with the fact that you may not be someone's cup of tea in a season, for a reason, or for a lifetime, right? And I just happen to not be that person's cup of tea. I didn't ask any questions as to why you blocked me or anything. I came away and I was smiling about it. And I just thought, just like how when I have my moments when I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I've got to have you at a distance, or I've got to have a wide berth with you, or whatever. People are entitled to do that very same thing with you. Yeah? And I'm smiling because this is what growth is all about. This is what, for me, spiritual maturity is all about. And accepting who you are and who you are not in people's lives, and be okay with it. Because just as you hear me talk about be mindful of who you give access to, someone somewhere may feel that you're just too much for them as well. Do you understand me? Because this world ain't made up of you alone. It's not made up of me alone, right? So I'm saying this to say, Lord, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit. I just want to say, Lord, I thank you personally for who I am, for the woman, the person, the human, the parent, the friend, the the relative, the employee, the neighbor, the stranger, the child of God, the heir to a kingdom that you have bestowed onto me, that awareness, that awakening, because this is what it is. It's an awakening, be it a rude awakening, but an awakening nonetheless. When you take ownership and accountability, responsibility for those things, for your part, for that part. Do you understand me? And I'm saying all that to say, access denied alert. And Brother Kevin always says that's something that I always talk about, because I do. And I'm mindful of it. But I'm equally mindful of the fact that I might not just be someone's cup of tea. And neither will you. And be okay with it. So Tell It All Tuesday, access denied alert. Yeah? And just don't take it personal. Just don't take it personal. Have yourself a great Tuesday, and I'll speak to you soon. God bless.